Welcome back to another installment, r/no sleep. We have one here from author Good Times Zero. It's depressing. Title, If Someone Knocks on Your Door, Don't Look Through the Peephole. I feel like this is a classic name. I feel like it's a possibility that this has been used before. Maybe this is the same story. Maybe I'm just crazy. But let's get into it. I know it sounds paranoid. I know it's instinct, muscle memory. Someone knocks, you check. It's normal. It used to be normal for me too, until I learned it wasn't. I've always hated being contacted out of the blue. A random number calls me, I won't pick up. If it's important, they'll leave a message. Ever had a coworker message you on Teams without any prior warning? Took me a while to get used to that, but the worst, the absolute worst, is someone knocking on my door unannounced. It started back in university. I was living in a tiny apartment, just me and a lot of bad habits. I'd be smoking or maybe just too busy to clean, and then, knock, knock. The sound would hit me like a punch to the chest. My whole body would go stiff. I'd tiptoe over, carefully, not to make a sound, and peek through the peephole. Most of the time, I didn't open the door. I just pretended I wasn't home. Was it introversion? Paranoia? I don't know, but it stuck. 15 years later, in a dozen different apartments, I still did it. When someone knocked, I tiptoed to the door, checked, and if I didn't feel like it, I wouldn't open up. Maybe some unresolved anxiety. It worked. I didn't have to deal with unexpected visitors, and if it was important, they would find another way to reach me. I thought it was fine until 2 weeks ago. It was a Friday night, a long week at work. For the first time in a while, I let myself relax. I smoked a little, played video games with some friends. The night was mine. I had my headphones on, fully immersed when I felt it. A sound, like a knock, just on the edge of my awareness. Pulled my headphones off, my heart skipping. I held my breath. Listened. Nothing. It must have been my upstairs neighbors. They have a kid who's probably still up late. I shrugged it off, put my headphones back on. Mistake. The night went on, but that sound kept coming. Knock, knock, just faint, rhythmic tapping, like something waiting. Maybe it was the smoke playing tricks on me. Maybe I was just tired. But then, by 2 a.m., I'd had enough. I logged off, crawled into bed, and scrolled through my phone before I could sleep. That's when I heard it again. Slow, deliberate. No mistaking it now. A knock, right at my front door. My stomach dropped. I sat up, heart racing. My mind scrambled for answers. Emergency? A late night visitor? But why hadn't they knocked harder? Why wasn't there a panic in the knock? Why so patient? I slid out of bed, my breath shaky. I moved carefully, trying to make no sound. I grabbed my phone, using its flashlight to guide my steps, but I turned it off before reaching the door. I didn't want them to know I was awake. I crept forward, pressing my eye to the peephole. The cold rush of dread flooded my veins. There was someone standing there. Their back was to me. The hallway was a dead end. It's not like they were facing another door. Nothing, just staring at a wall. Tall, broad, dressed in black. The sound of their breath, deep, slow, heavy, echoed through the silence. My skin crawled, my mouth went dry. Every instinct in me screamed at me to move, to do something, but I couldn't. I just stood there, frozen, watching through the peephole. And then, it twitched. Not a step, not a turn, but a violent shudder, like something inside it was broken, a glitch. The body was unhinged, just for a second. It did that a few more times. It seemed to jerk backward, though it didn't turn. It wasn't a normal retreat. It was moving backwards, but not towards me. It was almost mechanical. I kept looking through the peephole. The hallway was empty, and it stayed empty. I barely slept that night. Every little noise made me flinch. Every shadow felt wrong. The knocking, though, it didn't stop. Every night at exactly 2:30 a.m., it came. Slow, methodical, unhurried. And I couldn't stop myself. I crept to the door, heart pounding, and peered through the peephole. It was always there, always in the same spot, always facing the wall. The second I saw it, my stomach would twist with dread, like ice spreading through my veins. But still, I'd check. I had to. Maybe I thought if I didn't, it would get worse. My bad habit had the best of me, and I truly couldn't ignore it. I know what you are thinking. Why didn't I call the police or go stay somewhere else? Well, I had nowhere else to stay. And what was I going to tell the police? Some guy knocks on my door and I don't answer it, and then he leaves me alone? This was definitely creepy, but it was probably some stupid prank that's gone too far. Last night, though, something changed. The knocking started like usual, the rhythmic tap, tap, tap against the door. But I was already in bed. I hadn't fallen asleep yet. I sighed and rolled over, ready to check it as I always did. But this time, when I looked through the peephole, there was nothing. Nothing at all. No one stood in the hallway. No tall, broad figure, just empty space. I was already pulling away from the door when I heard it again. This time, it came from behind me. The knocking was at my bedroom door. My blood ran cold. My body froze. The knocking came again, slow and deliberate. I turned my head, panic rising in my chest. The hallway was dark. The bedroom door was shut tight. Knock, knock, knock. Louder, rattling the wood. My legs trembled and I was frozen between my front door and the bedroom. I didn't know what to do. The doorknob turned. I stumbled backward, gasping. My heart felt like it was about to explode. The air grew thick, suffocating. My breaths came in shallow bursts, like I couldn't get enough oxygen. Knock, knock, knock. The last one was a crash, a thunderous bang that shook the walls. And then, silence. I didn't move. I couldn't move. It felt like hours before the first light of morning crept through the blinds. Only then did I dare go into my bedroom. It was empty. Tonight, I know it'll come again. But I won't look, not this time. Because I know if I do, I won't be looking at it. It will be looking at me. It was juicy. It was creepy. Tell me what you think in the comments. I dug it. I dug it so much I didn't say anything. When I'm quiet, that means it's usually good. And I don't want to stop. Can't stop, won't stop, never stop. I am the mid-grade masochist. Farewell.